Hi guys, my name is Kayla and I want to welcome you guys to the first ever Redneck Chat. I'm calling it Redneck Chat because most of my stories are about a certain redneck and a man that plays a certain redneck that we all really love. Um, I waited to do this for a few days because, as you all know, I was diagnosed with the flu and a left ear infection. I still sound pretty gross, so please bear with me. And if I ramble, which I'm pretty much rambling right now, but if I ramble, I apologize because that will make this video probably longer. Alright, so for a while, a lot of people have been asking me to do a question and answer, and I always kind of pushed it away because I didn't think I would be getting that many questions from anybody. But the other day, my best friend asked me again to do it, and so I decided, hey, why not? And when I posted that, I was only expecting literally to probably get like 3 or 4 questions. But you guys once again surprised the hell out of me and sent me way more than I ever thought I would get. So I am going to answer all of them, and if I missed yours, I'm sorry, and let me know at the very end of this video if you guys want me to do another one, or if it was just boring and stupid, which it possibly could be, and I apologize if it's like that. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so my first question is from Candy05250. She has 3 questions. The first one is, how do you meet Norman so much? I'm a stalker. I'm just kidding. No, I actually go to a bunch of these conventions that come around, like Horror Hound and Wizard World, the Comic-Cons. He's usually there, so yeah, there's that answer. And when he sees you, does he recognize you right away? Well, each time I've met him, I've had 3 different hair colors. So I don't know if that's it or he's just, but no, he doesn't recognize me right away, unfortunately. I'll bring it up that I've met him before and with everything that happened with Matt, and then he'll immediately know who I am, and it's then it feels pretty good. And the most serious question of all, what's my favorite color? Blue. Alright, The Walking Dead _ Daryl and Beth wants to know, how do you get through writer's block? That you have it all the time, but not just with writing. How I get through writer's block. I put down what I'm doing, and I just completely clear my head of anything that has to do with my story, completely. I'm actually going through writer's block right now with Your Crying Shoulder, and I've been having to ask for some help, which you guys have given me your ideas, which I'm very thankful for. Most of my stories, I kind of know the direction I want to go in, but I don't know the events that I want in between them. So basically, I would just walk away, completely forget and like push out anything having to do with your story. Watch TV, watch episodes of The Walking Dead if that's what your story's about. Talk to people, because inspiration can come in the most random places, and when you find it, it'll just hit you like right here, and then you'll be able to write without any blockage, without any pause, and it'll be a pretty good chapter. Alright, IL Daryl Dixon 14 wants to know, what inspired you to write an amazing book like this one, and why are you so committed to working hard for people you hardly know? Well, first of all, thank you for saying the book is amazing. It feels really nice to hear that. I guess what really inspired me was when I was writing Redneck Has Feelings, like the story for May came into the back of my mind, and I was thinking about putting some of those experiences into Redneck Has Feelings with Kayla's backstory, but it didn't fit at all. And as I'm writing the Redneck Has Feelings and Forever and Ever, the whole time in the back of my mind, I was thinking of Your Crying Shoulder and May and that kind of story. So I think what really inspired me to write that one was writing Redneck Has Feelings, and even watching The Walking Dead just gave me all these different ideas. And so that was that answer. Your second question, why do I work so hard for people I barely know? I really don't know what you mean. If it's from a writing standpoint, it's because I love it, and I love knowing that you guys enjoy what I'm writing and are really getting into it. If it's from a personal standpoint, well, I do work in a doctor's office, and I love it because it's my passion. So, yeah. Patch Gamer 1709 wants to know, how do you go to meet Norman so much, and would there ever be a possibility for me to meet him? I've already answered the first question because I go to a bunch of conventions and I get lucky. And literally, meeting Norman is how I've gotten to meet him so much is luck and money. Um, his photo ops and his autographs are pretty dang expensive, to be completely honest. It took me 2 years to finally get up enough money to be able to go to these conventions and meet him. And ever since then, I've been very, very lucky. And he's been a complete sweetheart to me each time and done something very special for me every time. So it's a lot of money, but if you get that chance to, I would meet him, because at least once, he's a sweetheart. And would you ever get to meet him? Like I said, he comes to a bunch of conventions, so wherever that is, just look him up. He also, I hear, goes to Woodbury a lot and meets fans, so try that if you're anywhere close to Georgia. Becky Rads 24 wants to know, is Norman absolutely wonderful to meet in person? Yes. He is amazing. I'm a complete fangirl with him. I mean, in front of him, I hyperventilate when I'm in line. Like, no joke, I freak out. But then the minute he hugs you, it's over. Like, you feel comfortable, you can talk, it's just wonderful. And he's kissed me, I've kissed him, he's given me chocolate, he's made everybody say happy birthday to me twice. He is a sweetheart, and he's a big kid, and he makes you feel so comfortable. It's wonderful. All right, Bethany C04 wants to know, if you could, would you get Your Crying Shoulder published? I've thought about getting some of my books published. Your Crying Shoulder, no, because it follows the script of The Walking Dead. And unfortunately, I do not own The Walking Dead. Would I like to own The Walking Dead? Yes, but I do not. So I cannot get Your Crying Shoulder published, because I only own May, Richard, her mom, and some of the things that happened to them. But I do not own the script, so I could not get that published. I was thinking about doing A Dream Becomes Reality, changing up the names a little bit, and trying for that one. And then I definitely want to do Norman's Melody. When Norman's Melody is finished, I am going to be changing up the names for that and sending that into a publisher. So fingers crossed that something maybe happens. Joy Mundragon wants to know, besides Daryl, who is your next favorite character of The Walking Dead? Rick. Definitely Rick. I absolutely love Andrew Lincoln. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Norman Reedus with all my heart. Like, he is my everything, my soul, oh my god, just everything. But Andy is by far my favorite actor. He's been that way for a while, and how he portrays Rick just amazes me. And seeing Rick from the very beginning to where he is now, it's, I love how he does it, and I'm very excited to get to meet him for the first time in October this year. And I'll probably fangirl harder than I did when I met Norman the first time, so Rick. Alright, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Lover 37 has 3 questions. First is, what is your favorite singer or song? My favorite singer by far is Kenny Chesney, and my favorite song by far is She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy by Kenny Chesney. Not ashamed. What is your favorite thing about writing? Probably escaping to a whole new world. Becoming a character that can be completely opposite of you, and getting to live through them in that life, and putting them in situations, and oh no, it's just, I love cliffhangers. You guys probably know that because you guys give me death threats for them. But I like knowing where the story's going, and then I love reading your guys' reactions to it, by completely dropping it off. Sorry guys. But yeah, favorite thing about writing would have to be escaping. And yeah. And her third question was, what is my favorite food? It's either between macaroni and chicken. Addiction to Dixon wants to know, what is the hardest thing about writing your crying shoulder? Probably character development, because each character in the show has such a unique and like personal like attitude or stance with them. Like for Daryl, for instance, I've read a bunch of books where Daryl just instantly is like, "Oh, bam, I love you," and to me, that's not Daryl. If he falls in love with somebody, it's gonna take a while for him to admit it to himself, and to even show any kind of feeling towards this girl. And that's why in Your Crying Shoulder, I wanted to keep that, like, because Daryl is awkward. Daryl is that kind of guy that's going to push you away the minute he feels something for you. And I wanted to really, really keep that in Your Crying Shoulder. I also wanted to bring T-Dog out more, because I read very few stories where T has an important role in the story. And I think that because how May is, with her not feeling important or anything like that, that's why I brought T out more, because of that. Stark _ The Walking Dead _ POTC and Heartland Attic both want to know, would you rather date Norman Reedus or Daryl Dixon? That is just cruel. It really is. It's very cruel to ask me that question, because I couldn't pick. I'm pretty much the guys that I'm attracted to are the rough, strong, protective guys like Daryl. But I'm also attracted to that sweet, innocent, kid-like person that Norman is. So, literally, if you freaking put me in a room and said I had to pick one, and Norman was right here and Daryl was right here and I was in the middle and said pick one, I would crawl in a ball and rock back and forth and cry, because I could not. I can't do it. To me, they're the same person, and I love them both way too much to be able to pick. So for that very cruel question, both. May I have both? Because I would really like both. Dark, The Walking Dead, POTC also wanted to know, am I going to have May and Daryl get married? Well, I can't tell you that. You will just have to read the story. I have a specific way that I want Daryl and May's relationship to go, so you'll just have to read and find out. Basic Fangirl 2003 wants to know, who inspires you to write? Well, at the beginning, who inspired me to write, who to even get me going with writing? I used to work in a nursing home, and I got very close with this resident, extremely close, and we are still very, very close. But before this, I wrote so much. In high school, my notebooks were filled with stories I wrote. But nobody, not even my family, ever saw them. Nobody did. I didn't do anything. And I was explaining this to her when I was taking care of her at the rest home, and she asked me if I would read her one, and I was like, no, I'm not going to have you read one. One, you don't even know what The Walking Dead is. But she really, really pressed me to read it to her, and it was The Redneck Has Feelings. And so I started reading it to her, and she like went nuts, like, Kayla, what are you doing here? Her exact words were, you're a writer. And ever since then, I still didn't want to post it. And every day I went into work, she asked me if I posted it yet. And then I finally did, and it took off right away, which I really wasn't expecting. I seriously was maybe expecting like 20 reads if I got lucky. But to have over 150,000 people read The Redneck Has Feelings and then beg for a sequel was amazing to me. I still don't even see The Redneck Has Feelings being a really good book. To me, that is. And then I had no intention of writing a sequel to it. And then when you guys asked for it, I literally just spitfired that out of my head because I had no story, no where I wanted to go with it. And it was a Spitfire story, and a lot of people really liked it, and it actually did turn out pretty good. So, but yeah, she inspired me to get into it. And then what inspires me to keep going is you guys, the comments you guys leave, the views I get, even your death threats for me not updating for a while, which I apologize for. Um, it just feels really good that people really like what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing. So that's what inspires me to write. I'm going to totally butcher this name. Tasnia wants to know, how do you get ideas when you write your books? I'm very lucky. I just have anything, like, just all of a sudden will click in my head. I'll pull out my iPad, which I write all my books on, and have no idea what I want this chapter to be about. I reread the chapter before, and so I have a kind of a clue. And then I know where I want to go with my books. Like, I know how I want it to end. Like, I already know the ending for Your Crying Shoulder right now. But I just get on my iPad and start writing, and then things happen. Seriously, it's pretty much what happens to me. And then if that doesn't happen, I talk to my best friend, and she helps me out a lot. But yeah, I've been very lucky to have that kind of luck where I can just pull up my iPad and stuff comes to my head. Dreamer875 wants to know, I always come up with cool ideas and write a story with, but it always ends up really bad. Do you have any advice for starting a story? The minute you get an idea, write it down. Because if it's something that's really good or something that you're passionate about, it'll stick. And all these ideas will start flowing into your mind. Like, even if it's like the end of a story, or the middle, or maybe even just a prologue, if you write it down, more ideas will come in your mind, and it'll just write itself. If you don't, then it'll either keep pounding at your head until you do write something about it, or you will forget about it, and then you'll feel frustrated later when you're like, oh, I had a really good idea, but now I don't remember it. So my advice for writing a story, the minute you get some sort of inspiration or some sort of idea, write it down. Ice Buzz wants to know, if you could be the original author for any book, which would it be and why? The Hunger Games trilogy. Because I find myself gravitating more towards like weird kind of intense books where the hero is someone you wouldn't think of. Like, in this case, it's a girl from the poorest district that there is. And then I like the twisted kind of books. I mean, twisted books are more entertaining and more like keep me on my toes and want to know what happens next. And that's how I've kind of done with my books. Some things are pretty twisted. But yeah, the Hunger Games trilogy would probably be if I could be the author for that book, any of those 3 books, it would be pretty awesome. Alright, I Heart TWD wants to know, how many of the cast have you met? I have met Daryl, Sophia, Ed, Andrea, Martinez, Tomas, Glenn, Eugene, Abraham, Gareth, Tara, Joe, Carl, Lori, Merle, Herschel, I think that's it. I'm Stuck in a Daydream wants to know, how did you get into The Walking Dead and WWE, and have you ever been to a live WWE event? How I got into The Walking Dead. I'll be honest, I didn't start watching The Walking Dead until the mid-season premiere of season 3. Basically because everybody was obsessed with it. And I told myself I did not want to be obsessed with it because everybody else was. And it was crazy. And I started dating this guy who really, I mean, he didn't really watch it, but his friends did. And we always were over at his buddy's house every Sunday night. And he watched it. So I was like, okay, I could give this show a shot. So, I started watching it. I was like, okay, this show's okay. I could watch it. So I started following it on my own. And then I didn't understand why everybody was like so obsessed with this Daryl guy. I was like, oh my god, I don't understand. And 2 more episodes after that, I understood why everybody was in love with this Daryl guy. Because now I was in love with this Daryl guy. And what got me into WWE was my brother. We would only play on our little PS2. The only way I would be able to play the PS2 would be to play with my brother, and my brother was playing those WWE games. And he would quiz me as like the superstars would come on the screen in between matches and try and quiz me on who they were. And the very first one I actually ever learned who it was Chris Benoit, to be honest. And then after that, it's stuck with me. It's really brought me and my dad together, brought me and a lot of good friends together, and made me realize this is really what I want to do, and it's really helping me with my training for the WWE. And have I ever been to a live WWE event? It took 14 years, but yes. Last December, I went to my first WWE live show. It was a house show, but it was still fantastic. I was second row. I went nuts. Big Dean Ambrose fan. And I got to hold his hand and hug him, so it was a very good day. And I'm actually bought tickets to my first Raw in May here, and so I'm excited for that. This next question is from Allison. It says, "Hey Kayla, I guess I need some advice. So one of my friends keep talking about this guy that I have a difficult past with and his girlfriend. Seems like he wants to try and make me jealous, and he's always says that I love him. Even when I tell him I don't. Do you think I'm reading into it too much, or do you think he's trying to tell me something? What should I do?" I'm not the best person for relationship advice. But what I think I see is, if I'm getting this right, I do think he's trying to make you jealous. He probably does have feelings for you, and or he's trying to make his girlfriend jealous is really what it is. But if you have no feelings for him, I would just ignore him, because honestly, it's just going to cause drama between you and the girlfriend 9 times out of 10. So I would ignore it if you don't have feelings for him. But if you do, then maybe you should pull him over and talk to him about this, because obviously he's trying to either make her jealous or make you jealous, and it's just not going to end well. Alright, Taisha Grassi Good wants to know, what's your overall opinion on Dean Ambrose? Well, my main opinion on Dean Ambrose should probably stay inside my head. But there are those fighters that you really can tell love this business and know how to fight and enjoy what they're doing. And then there's those fighters that you can tell are there for the paycheck, for the fame, the fortune, and don't really know what they're doing. Dean is one of those that knows what he's doing, and I thoroughly enjoy watching him every week. You could just tell that man knows how to fight and, generally loves it. He grew up from nothing, and look what he did. And that it blows my mind. It makes me feel like, it inspires me, being new and just now going into the business, to definitely see that it can happen. And I live in Cincinnati, and that's where Dean's from, so that's another reason I love him. And I guess my overall opinion of him is great fighter, great guy, hard worker, and very attractive. Queen Danielson Ambrose wants to know, favorite WWE diva and superstar. You all know my favorite superstar is Dean Ambrose, but my all-time favorite WWE superstar was definitely Shawn Michaels. He's the one that has really got me through a lot, and who I grew up watching. So Shawn Michaels overall, and then Dean Ambrose. But My favorite diva by far is AJ Lee. By far, AJ Lee. She, like I said, once again, she had no connections into WWE. She got there because she was good. And that also inspires me like crazy. And so AJ Lee and Dean Ambrose / Shawn Michaels. Mel Roxer wants to know, what did you think of Raw? And what did you think of WrestleMania? Well, Raw, I thought it was pretty good. They got a lot of new NXT people coming in, giving them their shot, which I liked. I liked the Divas match between AJ Page and Naomi versus Natalya and the Bella Twins. Not a big Bella fan. I like Natalya. Not a big Paige fan. I like Naomi and I love AJ. So I liked how that outcome came. Dean and Cena. I have never had a problem with Cena. Grew up watching him and once again never had a problem with him. Didn't really like the outcome because Dean got really, really hurt. So that kind of upset me, but, you know, it happens. And then what did I think of WrestleMania? Let me first start out in saying how much I despise Seth Rollins. I can't stand him one bit. Like, I'm so mad. I don't like Brock Lesnar either. And I very much wanted Roman Reigns to win the title. And, I mean, I knew Rollins was going to do what he did, but it just, oh my god. I cannot stand Seth Rollins, and I should probably stop talking about it. But then, let's see, I'm very happy with the Divas match. Absolutely love The Undertaker. Bray Wyatt creeps me out to no extent. Like, by far, if he was ever at a convention and I got the chance to meet him, I would run the opposite direction into, like, oncoming traffic and everything. Because he creeps the hell out of me. I could not meet Bray Wyatt. But I was very happy with that outcome because I love The Undertaker. I've never been that big of an Orton fan, but what he did to Seth Rollins, I am now an Orton fan. Rusev and Cena, I'm happy with that outcome because Rusev gets on my nerves. Lana's freaking gorgeous, but Rusev gets on my nerves. So, I'm happy about that. Intercontinental Championship. I love Daniel Bryan, but I was really hoping to see a different Intercontinental Champion. A certain lunatic. But, unfortunately, that's not how it happened. So, I didn't get to see WrestleMania. I only know those outcomes. Because I do not have the WWE Network for $9.99. Because I am about to move back out into a new condo. So when I do get into that said condo, I will own the WWE Network. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Ambrose in 94 wants to know, if Dean is your favorite superstar, then who is your least favorite? I think I just answered that. Seth Rollins. And it wasn't even, like, when he destroyed the Shield. Like, when he destroyed the Shield, no. I hated him even during the Shield. Like, he got on my nerves. And he still does. And he's just being protected by the Authority. And he's a whiny little, yeah, gotta stop there. Literally, if I ever met Seth Rollins, I would go up to him and tell him how much I could not stand him. And then I'd probably end up asking for Dean Ambrose's number. And I should probably do that in the opposite, order, but yeah, I don't know. There's just something about him. I don't like his fighting style, and I don't like him. I really don't. Alright, Riggs Monster 101 wants to know, what would be my idea of a perfect date with Norman? If I ever got that chance. I would really, really like to ride on the back of his motorcycle. Just, wrap my arms around him, you know, and just ride for, like, hours on end. And then, I don't know, maybe stop somewhere and then eat, have a picnic, and, then go back and ride on his motorcycle some more. That'd be very, very nice. And then she also wants to know, what is my plan on survival in the wake of a zombie apocalypse? Honestly, I'd probably be dead within the first day. I do know how to shoot. I've shot before, and I've won a medal for it. But honestly, I would probably just lock myself in my room until they came and got me and watch The Walking Dead or Boondock Saints or something like that. Um, unless someone came and got me and protected me, then it would all be good. So, yeah. Okay, so I've been kind of leaving these last few questions to the very end on purpose because I knew it would be a longer explanation. So, Jordan Rita Stickson wants to know, a few months ago you got proposed to. Are you and your fiance still together? No, we're not. And if not, would I be so bold to ask why not? Okay. So, no, we're not together, and it was pretty nasty ending. Basically what happened was after Sean and Norman helped pull off my freaking dream engagement, things started going downhill for me and Matt. We got an apartment together, which I thought was, the start of my whole new life, like a wonderful life. And unfortunately, Matt had other plans. We really stopped talking to each other. We basically stayed in different rooms when we were home. And then he started going out on Saturdays, like saying he had to work, which he never had to work before on Saturdays, unless maybe it was a side job, so I kind of figured that's what it was. And then one day I got this message from this girl saying that I need to back off Matt, that she's pregnant with his kid and everything. So Matt cheated on me and got a girl pregnant. And everything just went downhill from there. Like, this girl, she kept threatening me, but then we finally sat down and talked because once me and her both confronted Matt, and he disappeared, like, for about a week. Told us he was in Tennessee, which I knew was total bullcrap because he has nothing in Tennessee. No family, no nothing. And me and this girl sat down and talked. And I even proved to her that he was cheating on her at the time, but, she's still with him because that's her baby daddy. But yeah, I tried to help her because of the situation, and it didn't work out. She still threatens me and all that, but I quickly moved out of my apartment, and I'm back home with my mom right now. Sean and Norman are both aware of what he did, and they both are not happy, especially Sean. I actually told Sean, I told him both in person, but I messaged Sean about it the minute I found out about it, and he went off. He was not happy. I told Norman about it like 2 weeks ago when I saw him, and some words were said, and it really sucked. It hurt. And then the other question was from Katniss Dixon, how are you dealing with your recent breakup? I'm getting there. It's getting better. I was very depressed for a while. I even had to go on medication for it because I thought everything was, crumbling. I had some thoughts in my head that shouldn't have been in my head. But then, when I told you guys about it, because you guys are more like family to me than readers. We're all one big family. We really are. And then I saw your guys' comments, and, you guys have picked me up. My parents have picked me up. Sean and Norman. Sean has kept in contact with me, and it's been very nice for that. It was hard, and I'm getting better. I didn't think I would be able to even look at a guy for quite a while, and it's been like that. I've had guys ask me out on dates, and I have gone, but, not really enjoyed myself. Felt nothing. And then randomly, this one guy, I met him a few weeks ago, and we've gone out quite a lot. He's pretty much just as obsessed with The Walking Dead and Norman Reedus as I am. And he is pretty fantastic. He welcomes my Norman obsession with open arms and thinks it's actually cute, which is awesome. Because he said he would fangirl over Norman meeting him too, which is pretty funny. He's actually read Your Crying Shoulder, and now he is bugging me every few minutes for an update. He's pretty great, and he's the first one that my walls have broken down since Matt, so yep, I'm getting there. And then I know in your question you said you're going through your first breakup. It hurts. It really does, but you will get through it. So this last question is from my best friend from Canada. She said if I did not answer this question, then I would probably be killed, even though she is from Canada and I'm from here. I met her on Quotev, and we've been inseparable ever since, and we're actually getting to meet each other for the first time in October this year, and we're getting to meet the whole Walking Dead cast together, so it's going to be pretty awesome. But so this is for you, Morgan. She wants to know why Corman isn't real. Corman is Morgan's ship name for me and Norman. It's not real. Would I like it to be real? Yes. But Morgan, it is not real because me and Norman are unfortunately not together. Would I enjoy that being real? Yes, very much so. And if you can make it happen, please make it happen. But unfortunately, that is why Corman is not real. So, yeah. I love you, and I answered it for you. Alright guys, that's all my questions I got. If I did miss any, I'm sorry. But I do want to thank you all for all the endless support and love you've given me every single day, reading my books or sending me a message. And thank you all for hoping that I get better, because I'm feeling better. Just the nasal and the ear still hurt. Yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support you give me. And if this was a terrible video, I apologize. But thank you for sticking with it if you did. And like I said, I do want to give a shout out to my best friend Morgan, and then I did get to meet one of my readers a few weeks ago at Horror Hound, and she was really awesome and really nice, and she's been reading this from the start, so hey Tay, thanks. But yeah guys, thank you so much for everything, all the support and the love, and happy Easter. Bye.